You might, like me, be trying to think of a word. I couldn't get from lily to lotus. You would think it was easy. They both begin with L. I don't think I remembered that point. So what did I try to do? I tried to stop thinking of it, but rather leave it in trust to God to come up with the word lotus, as it turns out, as, when, and if he finds it right. So I deliberately take my mind off it in a faith-trusting situation, not for a specific outcome. That just blocks the outcome, because I'm down the wrong road of associations. It's not going to give me lotus, which is what I'm looking for. So I stop looking in trust. I leave it with God in what we have childishly taken to be the void. It just becomes a non-issue with me. If it turns up, that's fine, and if it doesn't, that's fine, because I'm trusting it to his being. But very often then, of course, it's very reasonable to give me the word. I mean by reasonable, very right. And a great encouragement to me. And sometimes it might not be, I don't know. Because I've swept on, it became not an issue, not something I was worried about. Came up again when he gives you the actual word, if he does. In this case, the word lotus came to mind. I was thinking of something else and found it was nearby. Because he, our Heavenly Dad, is the source of all thought, not we ourselves. We simply have an access code, namely the values that we treasure, and they give access to thoughts appropriate to it. By his grace, goodness and loving kindness and bounty, fullness, abundance. And the thoughts are just there in the mind. Ah, thank you, Heavenly Dad. Ask and it shall be given you. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door will be opened unto you. You have to be Gnostic, dear one, to know what Jesus in the story might be referring to. Love you, Heavenly Dad. Thank you, Dad. Notice, dear one, phonetically, mind, m, I, grounded, and ground, nd, mind. Is the me, the I, grounded to his mind? That the self is an integral part of our Heavenly Dad. We're not just born of him, we're still in him and he in us, that they may be one as we are one. I in them and thou in me. Wow. Scripture is like this. If you like, the essence, the truth, the very essence of Scripture is that it's a continual access to the mind of God. You read the same Scripture in a different circumstance, different time, and it still opens up to you what is appropriate for that time. So good Scripture, pure Scripture, is the access, the embrace of our Heavenly Dad. That surrounds you and encourages you, caresses you with his very self. For this is life eternal, to know thee, to share his mind. We are grounded in our ego. My ego is grounded in, and yours of course, therefore, is grounded in our Heavenly Dad. Thank you, Heavenly Dad. Now a few seconds into rehearing this recording, and I'm reminded, yes, the lotus is symbolic of the mind of God. The lily is a sort of a childish version of it, just a few, many petals. But the lotus is spectacular and huge. Our Heavenly Dad, you see. And how do you jump from one to the other? Trust, dear one. It's entirely trust. I know whom I have believed, and am persuaded that he is able to keep that which I have committed unto him against that day. There's this blessed assurance, dear one, that gives you access to the mind of God, gives you ears to hear by his grace and generosity and kindness. And he just speaks it into your mind. And you think, oh, I've just thought of. No. You've just received. Oh, yeah, well, yes, that's right. But I realise I've received. Okay. Yes, well, that's good. Especially if you realise in your heart and being that you've received it from him. And gratitude overflows you. You're in a most wonderful flood. I was dreaming again, of course, before I started these recordings. I did a bit of triangular Kriya type breathing of mine, as I see it. And I launched into recording. But the dream was I was on a river, and well, of course, I'm not a swimmer in the real world, so I had this sort of cushion my chest was on, which was like in a sense, effectively a float. And I thought, oh, this allows me to swim. Of course, I'm not feeling the water. There's no feelings there because it's a dream. There's no body, so there's no body to feel. So I'm just swimming along on this water. And I realised if I moved the arms as if I could swim in water without the float, I'll be as if swimming. And I was. And it was lovely. I was sailing down this river. Not sailing, swimming, paddling. I was doing overarm, Olympic type swimming. and easily and freely. And not scared or anything, not worried about drowning or, just a goodness to be able to swim. And I'm moving down the river. It was the Colne River, in effect, I think. It felt like the Colne. That's the little river that runs up to Wivenhoe, and you could imagine the Roman galleys rowing up there to Wivenhoe. to the hive where they would dock. There's a mill there today, an old mill. I don't think it's running as a mill, it's probably just kept as a warehouse. But it's the beginning of the town, it's the sort of foothold of Colchester, which was the first recorded town in England and the first capital when the Romans took over. You can imagine the ships going up, the oarsmen, the Roman galley, going up the river in those prehistoric type days, you know. I don't mean, you know, monster animals, I just mean prehistory, you know, sort of, early history. Yeah, I was swimming along very happily, quite freely and fast, effectively, close to the water surface, of course, but on it, not in it. Well, my legs and body were in it, but I wasn't in any sense aware of that really, or, well, I was aware of it, but no feeling, no concern, you know. I couldn't say the water felt hot or cold, or even felt the water. I was just swimming. That's what it is, you see, with thought. It just comes to us, as natural as that. It's not something we do ourselves, we just find we have it, this ability to swim, this ability to think, and we say, I thought of, but it comes from you know not where. But you trust it comes from your heavenly Dad. And that seems to open the door. Ah, lotus, yes. Both begin with L. L. Oh, yes. You think to yourself, God. Lily and lotus. Lily, the small I, li. E sound, double E, what God adds. Like, life. Lily. Sweet, isn't it? It's for us. And lotus, what we become. This vast access to his nature, his being. We come to know God in our particular, unique way. Beautiful it is. A most beautiful flower for him. We are his joy and his beauty, his loveliness. And he holds us always in his heart, his being. We are his thoughts. It's as simple as that. We are ever embraced and surrounded by his being. There is no other. And we are his joy and his company, his family. And we come to be wonderful friends with him, a blessing to him even. How amazing. As he has been to us by his grace and goodness. As who we are, who he is. Love you, Heavenly Dad. Thank you, Dad. I want to tell you, dear friends, that last night, it's only 11 minutes past 1 in the morning now. Last night I went to a philosophy meeting. There was only 10 people there. The big question was thought. And each person, without me saying a word until late in the meeting, touched on something in this and the previous recording to this. They're not listening to my recordings, and I hadn't published these anyway, of course. I still hadn't, that's why I'm giving you the note here. I will do in the fullness of time. Oh, well, I am about to, that's right, that's why I'm reviewing these two. And when I speak, I'm amazed they listen. And you know, even my friend, Case, he actually at some point, quite early on in the meeting, said what God is to him. I thought, my goodness. I didn't say anything. Someone from the far side of the room says that, well, he sees one mind. I think it was a lady. I'm not sure. It said exactly that the thoughts come from God. I was speechless. You can't imagine Marshall being speechless, can you? I just listened and watched. And now I find in the still of the morning, in the dark here, that I'd already recorded the content, in a sense, of what they unknowingly discussed. And here I am, reviewing these two recordings with others, I suspect, to check they're okay and are worthwhile for publishing. And I just feel it's a Heavenly Dad saying to me, you see, I give you the thoughts, I give you the words. It's all from me. My way of saying, I love you. Dear one, in the story Jesus says, thou hast loved them as thou hast loved me. That's how much your Heavenly Dad loves you. If you know this of him, you have mastered the Jesus story. When you die, you will not return here, and you will not return to some astral or causal place either. You are bound for heaven. Indeed, you are already glorified in it. For as far as Jesus in the story is concerned, the kingdom of heaven is within you. God is within you, your dearest and nearest friend, forever. World without end. Heaven indeed. Welcome to the kingdom of heaven. Happy birthday. Thank you, Heavenly Dad.